In the age when the sky still listened to the earth, and the rivers carried the whispers of gods, a shadow rose from the forgotten places of the world. They were the Ajogan, dark forces of chaos, hunger, war, and ruin. They longed to overthrow the shining powers of the heavens and break the order guarded by the Orishas. But even the Ajogan knew there were battles that could not be won by strength alone. To challenge the powers above, they needed the might of the ancient serpent clans. And among them all, none was greater than Oshumare, the celestial serpent, lord of the rainbow coil, guardian of sky and earth. His power was feared in every realm. If he stood with the heavens, the Ajogan would fail. If he turned against them, the balance of creation itself could break. So the Ajogan chose deceit. One golden morning, beside a sacred lake wrapped in mist and silence, Oshumare descended into the water to renew his spirit. Along the shore, hidden beneath tall reeds and crooked trees, rested his unhatched young, sacred eggs glowing with the breath of future serpents. From the shadows, the Ajogan watched. "We cannot bend him," one hissed. "Then we shall poison his heart," said another. Taking the form of a hunter, one of the Ajogan crept to the nest. With merciless hunger, they destroyed the eggs and stained the ground with ruin, leaving behind signs meant to accuse Atoran, the great sky warrior, a mighty winged guardian whose thunderous descent struck terror into evil hearts. When Oshumare returned, the water still dripping from his scales, he saw the shattered remains. For a moment, the world fell silent. Then grief tore through him like lightning. The sky darkened. The wind trembled. His cry rolled across the land like thunder from the mouth of a storm. Sorrow became rage, and rage became fire. In that terrible hour, Oshumare believed the lie, that Atoran, ancient lord of the skies, had slain his children. Blinded by anguish, the serpent god rose in fury and hunted the false hunter across the wilderness. Mountains shook beneath his wrath. Trees bent as he passed. The hunter fled exactly as the Ajogan had planned, leading Oshumare deeper into hatred. From the darkness, the Ajogan smiled. Soon, they believed, the serpent and the Sky Lord would destroy one another, and the heavens would be left open for conquest. But Atoran was no fool. Sharp-eyed as the hawk above the savannah, he uncovered the truth hidden beneath the blood and ash. He learned of the Ajogan's scheme, and in secret he found that not all of Oshumare's children had perished. Some had been taken, hidden away by the Dark Ones to deepen the lie. Atoran rescued them from the jaws of death and understood at once what must be done. Words alone would not cool a father's fury. Only truth revealed in fire would break the spell of deception. And so Atoran, Lord of Storm Wings and Divine Wind, prepared a plan greater than the Ajogan's own cunning. When Oshumare came for him, the heavens split open. The serpent god rose into the sky like a river of flame, his massive body twisting through the clouds, his eyes burning with grief and vengeance. From his mouth burst a dragon of living fire, a beast forged from sorrow, wrath, and divine power. It roared across the skies, setting the clouds ablaze. Then Atoran descended. Wings vast as storm fronts spread across the heavens. Feathers flashed like bronze beneath the sun. His cry struck the air like a war drum from the world above. He met the fire dragon in midair, and the clash shook both earth and sky. Flame against wind. Fury against truth. Oshumare attacked like a grieving father who had lost all reason. Atoran fought not with hatred, but with restraint, bearing the weight of blows meant for a murderer, though he knew himself innocent. The battle raged over mountain, forest, and lake. Fire rained into the waters. Thunder cracked across the clouds. The very horizon seemed to tremble beneath their wrath. At last, with one devastating strike, Oshumare was cast from the sky. He fell like a broken rainbow from the heavens, crashing upon the earth in silence. The wind stilled. Then Atoran descended before him, not as an executioner, but as a bearer of truth. Behind him, from the shelter of his wings, came the young ones. Alive. The surviving children of Oshumare emerged into the light. For the first time since his grief began, the serpent god truly saw. His breath faltered. His rage died. The fire in his eyes gave way to horror, shame, and then something deeper than vengeance, justice. He had been deceived. The Ajogan had fed on his sorrow and turned a father's grief into a weapon. But Atoran was not his enemy. Atoran had saved what remained. The serpent god lifted himself slowly, his great coils trembling not with anger, but with awakened truth. He and the Sky Warrior exchanged no long speech, for none was needed between powers who now understood the same betrayal. Together, they became the trap. They staged one final act, greater than the dark deception of the Ajogan. They allowed the shadows to believe their plan had succeeded. The Ajogan crept from hiding, eager to witness the fall of heaven's guardians. They came laughing from caves, forests, and broken stones, drunk on the promise of victory. That laughter did not last. With a roar that split the earth, Oshumare rose in his full divine majesty, his coils encircling the Ajogan like a storm-born prison. At the same moment, a torrent descended from above in a blaze of wind and thunder, sealing every path of escape. The Dark Ones shrieked. Their own deceit had become their doom. Oshumare bound them in living coils, tightening like the judgment of the gods themselves. Their lies were exposed before heaven and earth. Their treachery, once hidden in shadows, now stood naked in the light. And so the Ajogan were captured, not by brute strength alone, but by truth, wisdom, and a deception turned back upon the deceivers. From that day onward, the story was told beside sacred fires and under moonlit trees, how grief nearly destroyed two mighty guardians, and how truth restored what lies had tried to break. For even the fiercest rage can be misled. But when truth rises, darkness has nowhere left to hide.